Chris Hipkins has ruled out Winston Peters. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, I mean, my view very clearly is that if New Zealanders want a guaranteed change of government and they want a strong, stable-led, national-led government, there's only one thing to do, and that is party vote national.
Are you still open to working with Winston Peters?
Well, as I said, I've been very clearly saying he's not above the threshold, he's not in Parliament, and what I'm focused on is making sure I maximise the National Party vote, and that's the only way that New Zealanders get to change this government and get a strong, stable-led national government on the other side.
Chris
How
Hipkins,
unstable would be a National Act, a New Zealand First coalition?
Well, as I said to you, my drive is to make sure I maximise the party vote for national. That is the guaranteed change of government that New Zealanders want and can get if they do that. And I've been making the case since the beginning of the year. We've got over 35 policies that are really about making sure how we rebuild this economy, how we restore law and order, how we deliver better health and education. That's what I'm focused on.
So just to be clear, you will not rule out, you're not ruling out working with Winston.
What I'm being really clear about, and I continue to be very clear about, is there's only one guaranteed way to change this government, and it is the party vote national.
Polling does have NZ First above the 5% threshold to enter Parliament. Would you work with them after the election?
Again, it hasn't been a consideration for me. They're not in Parliament. They're not above the thresholds. What I'm focused on is maximising the National Party vote. I think we've had practical, common sense ideas to take the country forward. I'm giving New Zealanders a really good sense of that, about what our priorities are. It's not about the petty political and the personal and all that stuff. It's actually about making sure we deliver for New Zealanders, and that's what I'm going to do.
But none of those New Zealand First policies up until this point have rolled them out for you at this point.
What I'm saying is I'm focused as leader of the National Party on maximising the National Party vote. I think New Zealanders understand what I'm offering, which is I want to get New Zealand back on track. I think this is a fantastic country with lots of potential, but we have lost our way. We need to rebuild our economy, restore law and order, deliver better health and education. That's what this election needs to be about.
David Seymour and Winston Peters aren't big fans of each other. Would working with them both potentially be a bit of a circus?
Again, what I'm focused on is a strong, stable, national-led government. And I'm telling New Zealanders, I'm being really clear about it. In an MMP environment, if you want a guaranteed change of government, there's only one thing to do, and that is to party vote national.
In his speech today, Chris Hipkins talked about a national MP threatening others, one of your MPs celebrating abortion restrictions, and another laughing at photos with Jacinda on a toilet bowl. Is national really fit to be in power?
What I just say to you is I think it's incredibly sad that Chris Hipkins has decided to go so personal and so negative. And I understand it because he has no record to run on and he has no ideas to take the country forward. We have a very positive campaign about how we get New Zealand back on track. New Zealanders know we're going in the wrong direction and they want a government that's strong and stable and that can actually rebuild the economy, restore law and order, deliver better health and education, and that's what we're going to do.
Does National have candidates and MPs that want to roll back women's rights?
Well, as I've been really clear about it, there'll be no change to any of our abortion laws, funding or access. I've been really clear about that. That is not our focus. In government, we need to be focused on rebuilding this economy. We need to make sure we restore law and order, deliver better health and education. That is what New Zealanders want us to do. Those are the priorities for New Zealanders, and that's where our focus is as well.
Would you still sooner resign than change abortion access?
Absolutely.
Chris Hipkins has said that a National Act NZ First coalition would divide and alienate large sections of society. What do you have to say about that?
Well, again, I think Chris Hipkins is really desperate, and it's sad to see because he's now literally throwing anything at a wall to see what sticks. He's decided to make this campaign incredibly personal and incredibly negative. That is understandable because he has no record to run on and he has no ideas to take the country forward with. And the choice for New Zealanders is incredibly stark. It's a coalition of chaos and more of the same, or either it's a strong, stable, national-led government. And so Chris Hipkins can say what he wants. He has been personal, he has been negative. That's the way he wants to run this campaign. It's not the way that I want to run the campaign. I've got a positive plan to take New Zealand forward because that's what New Zealanders need.
And do you think that's why he said that? Because he's desperate?
I think it is desperation. I think it's incredibly sad, to see him go so negative and so personal, rather than because he doesn't have the ideas and he doesn't have a record to run on.
Would you repeal Māori wards, which ACT has said that it would do?
Again, our position is that we are one country. We have a democracy where it's one person, one vote, and so we've opposed that through the course of the last Parliament. We don't believe that that's fair or democratic.
So you would repeal Māori wards?
That's been our view and our position.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here. And head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.